right, welcome back to InsideFlix. We're going to be doing our weekly box office report. Rich, tell us which films made the top 5 this past weekend in the box office.
The number one film in America is once again Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, earning $66.4 million. Coming in number 2 is The Menu with $9 million. Coming in number 3 is Fathom Events' theatrical release of The Chosen Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2 with $8.7 million. Coming in number 4 is Black Adam with $4.6 million. And number 5 is Ticket to Paradise with $3.1 million.
All right, let's talk about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Like we said before, we expected that this was going to be number 1. So the question was how much was the drop?
63.3%.
Rich is kind of better, a little bit better than what
other Marvel movies have been. The second week drops of the other Marvel movies, but I was personally expecting this one to have a stronger hold than this. Even though I didn't like the movie, I was expecting it to really. I was expecting like a lot of the people that saw the first Black Panther probably hadn't even gotten the chance to see this movie, and that it was going to have a very small, like maybe 55% drop. But 63.3. I mean, it's not that much better than the rest of the Marvel movies' second weekend drops. So, I mean, everything is performing below expectation.
Well, see, I was under the impression that these sharp box office drops for a movie's second week in theaters meant that this was kind of a sign of permanent superhero movie fatigue. I think there was a study recently saying that Marvel fans have been feeling some fatigue of all this barrage of content of the last couple of years. But now I do feel a little bit different because I think this is a sign of how the movie business is operating today in a post-COVID world.
It's not just the post-COVID world. It's also just I think the world really opening up to streaming.
Yes, it's yeah. Streaming is more available. VOD has kind of altered the ways we see movies now, and I think what the movie business is now is like you have these huge opening weekends, and then you got these sharp drops, no matter what type of movie it is.
Well, I thought Wakanda Forever was going to be around 70 million this weekend, so it came on just under that. So for a 60% drop, that's what I was expecting. But the movie itself, as of we're taping, has already reached 300 million, and it's the best November opening in the records.
Yeah, I think it beat Hunger Games, right? Didn't it beat Hunger Games for the best opening in November? I think it's also doing pretty well internationally. I think the drop is a little bit less than domestically. So I think Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is still making a ton of money. We've been saying this that this is going to be a monster movie.
But here's the question: do you think it's going to outgross Multiverse of Madness? Is this going to be the biggest comic book movie of the year?
It's going to be really close.
It's going to be close because I think it's definitely going to be reaching that $1 billion mark.
Yeah, it's no doubt going to beat Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, absolutely. But but I don't think it's going to pass Doctor Strange.
It really depends on how Avatar 2 does.
I have a feeling Black Panther's box office is going to already be like
diminished by then.
Diminished by the time Avatar comes out. Like it'll still be probably number 1 because there's nothing else.
Let me ask you this. I mean, we're seeing these sharp box office drops for its second and third and fourth weeks from a lot of these movies. Do you think that has something to say about Marvel, or is that just the movie industry as we know it now?
Well, Marvel is the movie industry as of now. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing we could look to, other than Maverick. But
I think Maverick is just an anomaly, or is just an outlier. That is something that was just a kind of a miracle thing that happened this year. Because, like you said, Marvel movies and comic book movies are the movie business, certainly when it comes to theatrical releases, that these sharp drops, it's just kind of a new sense of normal now.
But it depends on also the competition that's right after the week. Because right now, there's no competition really for Black Panther. And there was no competition for Black Adam, but Black Adam didn't have that success at all. So they really screwed the pooch with Black Adam.
Well, let's talk about Black Adam.
Yeah, it came in number 4.
Now it's on VOD. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers, to promote the digital release of Black Adam, they released the first 10 minutes of Black Adam on YouTube. Mm-hmm. The first 10 minutes is the worst part of the movie.
What's the future of Black Adam?
there might not be any future whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a Black Adam 2, but I don't think this is gonna be the end of Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. I think they're just gonna have to use him in a way where he appears in other people's movies, which is fine because he probably should have never even had his own film to begin with. He should have just popped up as a villain in the Shazam film. So I'm sure we'll see him eventually, fight Shazam, maybe in Shazam 3. Hopefully Shazam Fury of the Gods is a success, a bigger success, at least in Black Adam.
Mhm.
If the rumors are true about Henry Cavill really training as Superman, then I imagine eventually he will fight Black Adam, but I don't think it's going to be in a Black Adam movie. I think it's going to be more of a movie that features a lot of DC characters. I mean, James Gunn's already planning the whole next 10 years of DC. I'm sure Black Adam is a part of it in some way, but I'm starting to doubt that we're going to get a Black Adam 2.
All right, let's talk about the other films that came out in the top 5. The Menu, which was number 2, it's a new release. Raymond, you thought this was going to be a little bit higher?
Yeah, it's not a lot higher, but I thought it was going to be in the double digits.
Mhm.
And I thought that I wasn't expecting the movie to play in so many screens because the theater average, well, not bad. It's, I think, a respectable theater average of 2,800. I really thought it was going to have a better theater average than that. I thought the theater average this movie was going to have was, more around what the number 3 film had. And I think Searchlight really messed up by putting The Menu in so many screens. Because I mean, like we mentioned, the big movies coming out this year, there's going to be like Avatar. We got Wakanda already in theaters. I hope that The Menu can serve as counter programming.
The Chosen Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. This is a religious show.
Mm-hmm.
Something I've never heard of.
Yeah, me either. This is the first time I've ever heard of this particular series.
I was aware that this movie was coming out this weekend. I just didn't even bring it up, because I was like, this is the thing. It's not even going to crack the top 10.
Well, look, there is a movie-going audience for these type of religious movies or these faith-based movies or TV shows now. This is actually, I would say, the biggest story of this weekend.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Yeah. I think this could be a new distribution model for theater owners, to put these kind of premieres, these TV premieres in big screens.
Yeah, but they've been trying to do that. I mean, most recently, the Yellowstone premiere was screened on, but they do it like one-day events. This one was unique because they took the whole weekend in Fathom events.
But this also isn't like the first TV show to be played in theaters. I mean, they did earlier this year, I think at Cinemark, they had the premiere of the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power, which ended up being an awful show. But I mean, yeah, man, that is something interesting because like they could. There are a lot of shows that they could probably just premiere in theaters, and I'm curious, like maybe some of these like more kind of popular, maybe like for House of the Dragon season 2. Like I wonder if they were to premiere like the first episode in theaters, like let's say a month before the actual premiere, like what kind of business would that bring in?
I know. Right? I think it would be pretty good if
better than Glass Onion, right?
If the movie business nowadays is only kind of depending on the opening weekend. And that like repeat business is declining and becoming less profitable, then why not put like these TV premieres?
I would love to see the season 3 premiere of Chucky in theaters.
If I was a movie theater owner, why not look into the possibility of screening television premieres? I think there's a possibility that this could be the next stream of revenue for theater owners.
And for streaming services, right? Because they'll also be getting a part of it, right? Like if Netflix releases let's say the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things season 20 in theaters.
Yeah. At this point, the line between movies and television is so thin and so blurred that it's really indistinguishable.
Yeah, there are some TV shows that you watch that are so cinematic. People always say this, like this should be watched on the big screen. And then you watch some movies in theaters where it's like, this looks so like rushed, so cheap that it's like, I don't even understand why this isn't just, streaming or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It is completely blurred lines.
But getting back to this, being a faith-based show, ever since the success of the Passion of the Christ, during the holidays, these kind of things always show up. I mean, it's either this for Thanksgiving, there'll be one eventually for Christmas, and there'll be especially one for Easter. So, but this one's just an overwhelming success for this time. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, let's get into the rest of the top 10, Rich.
Coming in number 6 is She Said, Number 7 is Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Number 8 is Smile. Number 9 is Pray for the Devil. And number 10 is The Banshees of Inisherin.
Let's talk about She Said. This is a pretty big disappointment.
But not a surprise.
No, I didn't think it was a surprise at all. I think it came out at the wrong time. I don't know. What was your feelings about why this is like a major disappointment and why it bombed?
I really feel that this is a movie that should have come out around 2019, maybe 2020 at the latest. And I think I think at this point, like it's just way too late. And then we've also gotten so many movies that are kind of in similar subgenres. Like before we were recording, we were talking about how Spotlight was a very successful movie, and then a little after that, we got Steven Spielberg's The Post, which was also even more successful. I think it made double what Spotlight made, and now we got this one, which is from what people are saying, audiences and critics, seems like it might be the best of those three films, and it's a complete bomb. Mm-hmm. And I think it really, a lot of it has to do with just this movie just came out way too late. I mean, it came out in the point where it's like, no, I don't think people even want to hear about this stuff anymore. I think people really want escapism right now, and this is not the moment for a heavy drama.
Well, I think this kind of topic is more meant for television these days.
Yeah, it seems like this year particularly, Oscar hopefuls or Oscar contenders or even, say, Oscar bait type of movies are not doing well.
Yeah, and it seems like this is going to be like ratings-wise probably the worst year for the Oscars yet. And I think every year, like it's always like, this is the worst year yet, because I think last year was like a new record low in ratings. Mm-hmm. This is going to top that. And I think it's going to be a significant amount because nobody cares about any of these movies. Nobody watched them. And I think the only way that the Oscars are going to have any luck when it comes to ratings is if Top Gun Maverick gets nominated for Best Picture or Tom Cruise gets nominated for Best Actor. And hell, they might just give it those nominations just because they need ratings.
Or even Black Panther Wakanda Forever might get a couple nominations.
Yeah, maybe.
Before we close the door on She Said, I just wanted to quickly say that I think Harvey Weinstein is a fucking asshole. And
absolutely.
Him coming out and gloating about how this bombed in the box office, I think that's a fucking dick move. And he's truly a fucking asshole and a fucking jerk. And to come out through his spokesperson and, gloat about how this movie bombs is just despicable, really.
Did he really do that?
Yeah. He's a fucking asshole. He's an egomaniac asshole. And I can't believe he actually is paying attention. Well, while he's still in trial, looking, at years in jail.
Well, it just proves to you that he hasn't changed.
Yeah, I know. It's just he's a real piece of shit.
I think we can all agree with that.
Rich, tell us what's coming out this week in wide release.
Opening up this week is Devotion and Disney's Strange World. Also opening up in more screens this week is Bones and All and The Fabelmans.
Is it just me, or did it feel like the people behind Devotion just started promoting this movie this week?
I think the trailer. Well, maybe you're right. I saw the trailers for it a while back. I've seen them playing in theaters and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it could get the Top Gun Maverick audience.
I don't think so.
Let's hope it gets at least a quarter of it.
I think Strange World is going to be a bomb, and I think Strange World is still going to make more than Devotion.
Both these films are doing okay in the Rotten Tomatoes. Devotion is at 78%. The audience score is 97%. So the audience seem to be happy with this one. But Strange World, it's a 75% right now, and the audience is 61%. But we all know why. I think this is going to be another Disney dud. And
like Lightyear. Do you think it's going to make more than Lightyear?
Possibly less. But I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is like up there with Titan AE and
that's the vibe I get too. But Lightyear this year was a big bomb. I think it's safe to say that Lightyear is actually one of the biggest bombs of the year, because it's coming from this studio that makes very successful movies, and it was really expected to make a way like quadruple more than what it did, and it was just a massive failure. That movie opened up domestically with $50 million. Do you think Strange World would make less?
Definitely. So do you think Wakanda Forever will take the weekend again, or Devotion?
Absolutely. Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. I think Devotion will be number 2.
I think Strange World's going to be number 2.
What movies are coming out in limited release?
Opening up in limited release this weekend is The Sun. And opening up for 1 week only will be Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery. And then Leonore Will Never Die.
Streaming. What's coming out in streaming?
Streaming this weekend is The Noel Diary, which will be on Netflix. Also on Netflix, you'll find The Swimmers. And on Disney Plus is The Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special.
All right. So that's it for Inside Flix. We'll be back next week.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Be safe out there.